It's going to be interesting this year for taxes. It's going to be interesting this year. Daniela.
Yes.
Google Stadia.
Still a no for me.
Okay.
Still a huge no for me.
Okay. Amazon Luna. What do you think about that?
I'm on the waiting list.
You're on the waiting list. Okay, so what did you see about that caught your attention that you were like, you know what? I'm actually feeling this thing. What did you see?
I don't know if I'm feeling it or not. But
okay.
I don't know. I figured I buy so much Amazon stuff. Why not?
Sure. Okay.
But no, I like the subscription-based model that they have. It's like $5.99 a month, and you have all of these games are going to be available. You can play like where is it? Where is that link? I'm gonna.
So it seems to me, I have it on the screen right now. So it seems to me, you have more on that? Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. So they have, you can 1080p, 60 frames straight out of the box, 4K coming soon. You can stream it to 2 devices at a time, which is cool. Using your PC, your Mac, your Fire TV, and obviously your iPhone or your iPad. I hope they expand to Android based.
Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna be worried about it. I have a Fire TV, which I assume is what they're gonna be. Like, that's gonna be a huge plus if you can use that. Which kind of reminds me of what Steam was trying to do with their Steam box and everything like that. But this seems to be in a cleaner way. Multi-use. If the Fire TV is gonna be one of the things how you connect, I'm kind of down for that. Plus, it's like Amazon just seems to be in my ecosystem for everything.
This is true. I'm just
kind of want like a little bit of discount for being a, Amazon Prime subscriber too. Come on, give me something. I pay you $100 dollars like a year for everything else, and I buy so much. Give me a discount.
So the thing that was interesting about it for me was the response that it received when people started hearing about it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't negative.
Yeah.
It was definitely more positive, right? And even when they were talking about the controller being very similar to the Switch Pro controller, I'm just a fan of controllers, and I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, that's kind of cool, right? That's kind of cool.
Looking than the Stadia's Ouya looking one.
Wait, whoa, Daniela, whoa. Okay, all right. I want that one too. All right. So, but there's just something about this particular controller, and I was asking around. I was like, what controller do you believe inspired? And definitely, chat. Thanks for being here. I appreciate that. What do you think inspired this particular controller? And when we go back, we can go back as far as like an Xbox controller, because that's when I remember the asymmetrical. I'm sure there were something before that, but it was more in my mind from the Xbox on than anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. So, I definitely see some Switch controller vibes in that. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just not a complaint at all. That's like, I think, a pro. That familiarity that people are going to gravitate towards. I dig it.
Yeah, and you definitely have a different response with this one than you did Stadia for sure.
That one's just ugly.
I don't think so, though.
Ugly and generic. Like, I'm going to try real hard to be different and cool and edgy.
But see, remember what they were saying about that particular controller, that they went through different events to ask different, I don't know if it was FGC groups or whatever, how they appreciated this molding of a controller. And a lot of the individuals who checked out that controller, they really dug the Google Stadia controller. And I think it's a nice looking controller.
You know what's funny that you bring that up, because it just reminded me. I think it was, oh man, when was it? Like 2018, I think. I think it had to be for E3. I think that's why I was in California during that time. But anyways, we went over to Wednesday Night Fights, and which is, you know, the local FGC tournaments that they host over there. And there actually was like a group of college students that they had a table display. They did not actually have like, they had models, but they were like molded clay models of controllers. They weren't actual controllers. They were just shaped at it. And like they sat there asking you, like, you know, hold this. It didn't have buttons on it. It had like little molds about where the buttons would be, where the joysticks would be. They were more curious about how it felt in your hand.
Right.
And I can tell you that the one that was like, if there was one that was shaped like that, ooh, yeah, Stadia looking thing, that was not the one I chose.
That's not the one you chose. I like the options. I'm really glad that my controller is working again, because the C40 for a while I was gonna cry,
Really?
something like that. Yeah, it stopped. I was drifting a lot, and I didn't know why. So I'm like,
You
all right, I need.
recalibrated it?
Yeah, so I pressed the button in the back. You know, I have a video on my YouTube channel about it, how to reset your C40 controller. Yeah, listen, it is such an amazing controller, and I'm so glad. And in Iron Banners this week right now, so I jumped in earlier today and I was playing some Iron Banner. It's just there's a lot of controllers that are really good. Since we're talking about controllers, right? The Xbox controller is really good. Okay, and I think PDP makes some decent controllers as well. I think this is a PDP controller. The Afterglow. Yeah, that is PDP, right? It's a PDP one. And that one is really good. So when I was about to cry about the C40 not working, that one was good. The PlayStation controller, because it's symmetrical, you know, the thumb situation sometimes, you know, gets in the way. So great controller for platformers, I'd say. You know, that can be argued, but I think the PlayStation controller, the D-pad on that is great for platformers and fighting games, for sure. Definitely fighting games. The C40 D-pad, I would not use it for fighting games at all. Not even a thought. But so PlayStation has mastered that as it relates to the D-pad itself. But a controller that is like rugged, long term, I would say C40 and then Scuff, right? They both make very, very good products in that regard, in their own right? So yeah. So the only ones I have not checked out yet is the Switch controller, the Pro controller, of course, the Google Stadia controller, and of course, now we're talking about the Amazon Luna controller. I'm a controller guy, controller on PC. I know some people just look down on that, but that's just, I don't know. I dig it. It works. It works, and it works well.